Do you have your textbook?
On the module.
Module or your NCRT? Because some of the points which you need to remember here.
Yeah. Mom, like, where are you giving the notes for this thing? No, it's not in the WhatsApp.
Which one?
On the notes which you are displaying on.
Oh, I have to admit people today. I have to change that. How to change it?
On my.
Should I change here or what? No, now I cannot change. I should. Huh? No, it's me. Not
Oh,
him.
okay.
No, because it's his.
Oh, laptop.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Yeah, you all can see them. So I think she'll also come.
She came for physics and then
She hasn't joined here. She might come. Okay, so which are the chapters we have done, Akash? Can you just give the recap of chapters, what all we have covered so far?
Plant kingdom, and then we did cell, all
Yeah.
like
Unit 1, we are done with living world, biological classification. So then, plant
then we
kingdom.
did plant kingdom.
Yeah. So then we are left with only animal kingdom in unit 1. So that we are starting today. So then unit 2 we haven't touched. Unit 3, what all we have done so far?
Then we did biomolecules, cell, the unit of life, and something else I forgot.
Think. What is that something?
It was another cell chapter. I remembered that.
Another cell. It's all about cell biology. Unit 2 is
Yeah.
all about, unit 3 is all about cell biology, which are the chapters we covered there. What are the chapters we covered there? Cell, the fundamental unit of life. Then Akash, my dear, cell cycle,
Oh,
biomolecule,
that's yeah,
cell cycle and cell division. So
yeah.
biomolecule last chapter we did, and of course biomolecules you would be learning next year also. So let's take up animal kingdom. So again we have come to the classification where extensively we will be learning about animal kingdom. So when we say animal kingdom, what are the criteria to segregate animals from the rest of the group?
The second.
Yeah.
I didn't bring the first.
What is the use then? No. I want you people open your NCRT now. Correct. For now, open your NCRT and keep it. That's okay, right? Guys, tell me. Not required. That's okay. Yes, tell me. What's the criteria? On what basis you separated animals from rest of the groups? Mukta? Mukta, can you answer? On what criteria did you separate them?
Eukaryotic multicellular.
Ma'am, the arrangement of cells.
Arrangement of cell is the criteria. What is the basis of classification of living organisms? On what basis did you separate? So what is that only animal kingdom has, but not in the rest of the group? That is the reason we separated it. What is that? Okay. Absence of cell wall. That's the first criteria. Very good. Then
Motion, like
locomotion is need not be a major criteria actually speaking.
Eukaryotic multicellular.
even plants.
Yeah. Eukaryotic multicellular, even fungi. Eukaryote is the criteria? No.
No.
Having multicellular is the criteria? No. Having cell wall? Yes. So,
Blood.
is it blood? All those which do not have cell wall and heterotrophs.
Yes.
All those which do not have cell wall and heterotrophs are separated from the rest of the group and you call them as animals. So all those which are animal-like, yeah. What do you call unicellular animal-like organisms?
Mom.
Protozoans. Exactly. So what do you call all those multicellular?
Mom, unicellular.
Yeah. All those multicellular. What is the name?
Which one?
All those multicellular organisms, metazoa, protozoa, metazoa. I'm going to show you the just a minute, I'm looking for
Protozoa means
this.
single celled.
Protozoa means yeah. I'm trying to open your textbook. It's not opening. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That is the reason. Here, I thought I'll keep it here. So that how much is there, you will know, no? Just a minute. Give me 1 minute.
Yes.
Please. So this is scared to maximize, but it won't happen now, I think. This is different. Just tell me, I'm sharing the screen. Is it shown? Can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, can you all see it now? Yes. You can see fully, no?
Yes.
Okay. So animal kingdom. Why Nitya did not join at all? What happened to Nitya? Nitya?
Ma'am,
Oh, are you there here? When did you join? We have kept one chair and waiting for you here. What happened? Why didn't you come?
Ma'am, I got a little late, so I decided to take online.
Oh, we are having different setup today. Not the your regular setup. And we have kept one chair for you here. Okay. Why is it not? Okay. You are getting to see fully now?
Yes.
Okay. So, but for them it is showing. Are you getting to see full screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. And it's the pink color. Oh, default red it goes, is it? Okay. So here, animals are multicellular, heterotrophic, without cell wall. That means heterotrophic means not having chlorophyll, and that's the reason. So these are the basis for the classification of animal kingdom. Please do write down. So these are the basis of classification, like how we had lot of examples for the plant. You had to memorize lot of names.
Yes.
So same thing here, because the complete first chapter is 95% memory, because you need to remember all those names basically here. Okay.
Ma'am, metazoas are the
Metazoa means protozoa unicellular, metazoa multicellular. I mean, okay, that's all. No idea why I had downloaded this here. It's not coming.
which module?
Wait. I'll open that. Do not worry. Do not worry. Just a minute, students. It should be there with us also. That's what I-
Ma'am, it's there in that Byju's thing, the PDF.
No. I'm not talking about that. Now resources. Which should be I'm looking for our module where we have this is the first module. Chapter. So how much is there? I just okay. So all of you can keep your modules or module also along with you, because this is more of a memory based, and you will have the, so it is protozoa and metazoa. And it's a lot of diagrams also required for you to understand this. So like how we did with all pictures. So now which are the different? So we can classify this animal kingdom into, okay, so just a minute, please. So non-chordates and chordates, basically. So what is the basis of classification of animal kingdom? So what is the basis of classification of animal kingdom? So the basis of classification of animal kingdom is, so here you can see, so all the organisms, it's the levels of organization. So point number 1, it is levels of organization. Okay, so level of organization. What do you mean by levels of organization? What do you mean by levels of organization, guys? No. What is the first criteria? Mukta, Sadhana. So what are the criteria for the classification of living animal kingdom? Further classification. It's a level of organization. Cellular, which are the different levels of organization? All of you can write that. So the different levels of organization are
cellular, tissue, organ system.
cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization. Let me insert a slide here and write all those. So it is cellular level of organization. You can write. Then tissue level of organization. Cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization, then organ level of organization and organ system level of organization. Okay, so based on this, cellular level, tissue level, organ level, and organ. So what do you mean by cellular level? Cellular level means within the cell, the organ. So it is just a few cells will perform certain functions. So when we talk about the different physiological functions, so can we list the different physiological functions here? What are the different physiological functions in a body? So all the life processes. So we collectively call that as metabolic activities. So now all these metabolic activities, so will be performed by few cells in the body. Okay, so it's just confined to cells. So now group of cells when they perform. So group of cells. So when group of cells perform, that you call it as tissue level. There is a specialized structure to perform such functions. So they are organs, and there is a group of so many organs, different organs together. Okay, so become organ system and they perform the function. So that's called as organ system level of organization. So these are the different level of organization that we get to see in living organ. That's the first criteria. Is that clear? So in our module, we have discussed all these in detail. So organ system of level of organization, and organ system, you know, digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, so on. Okay. So you can see what is the second criteria. Second criteria is the symmetry. So symmetry. So what do you mean by symmetry? Body symmetry. What is the symmetry? That symmetry is the first you get exposed to your in mathematics in your very lower grades. So what is that symmetry means?
Like when you divide a image of object, it mirrors the two parts. It mirror each other.
Based on the symmetry, you have two different aspects. One is the bilateral symmetry and another is the radial symmetry. So what's your body? Bilateral. So that means making a body into two equal halves. When you pass it through the center at only one plane. Okay, so when you pass it through the center at any plane, if you get the two equal halves, so passing, so if the body is cylindrical, so now you will, when you pass it through the center from any plane, your body divides into two equal halves. That's called as radial symmetry. So based on the symmetry, we have two, that is bilateral symmetry and radial symmetry. Okay, so these are the two. So this is the second criteria, bilateral symmetry and radial symmetry. Point number 3 is germinal layers. So symmetry is a point number 1, level of organization. Symmetry, point number 3 is germinal layers. I think I have these slides here.
Yes.
Okay, so I have here. That's what I had done. Look here. Okay. So here you can see. So these are the basis of classification of animal kingdom. So they'll ask you, what are the basis of classification of animal kingdom? Level of organization, body symmetry, germinal layers. That is when the embryo is formed, there are different germinal layers. So body cavity, metamerism, that is segmentation of the body, and finally the notochord. So let's take up each one of them and understand what is that. So when we take up the level of organization, we already discussed, that is the level of organization. So cellular level of organization, so that is porifera. So which are the different overall. So animal kingdom have different phylum. So each of these phylum are classified based on having notochord or not having notochord. So all those which have notochord are called chordates, not having non-chordates. Okay, so vertebrates and invertebrates. When we say vertebrates, they are of all the levels we get to see there. So porifera, the first, Coelenterata, Cnidaria or Ctenophores. So that's the second. And Platyhelminthes and Aschelminthes, that's the next organ level. And next onwards, that is higher organisms onwards, there is organ system level of organization. Okay, so next, this is the organ system of different organisms or complexity. For example, so when we take the digestive system, you can see when we take the digestive system in the, every time we have to select, is it? No. Okay, the digestive system has two. For example, organ system means all the system in your body, digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, reproductive system. So then, what are the different excretory systems? So these are the different functions that happen, and they're all organ system level of organization. In all these system of organization, so there is, so for example here, there are two, incomplete digestive system and complete digestive system. What do you mean by incomplete? It has only a single opening. Okay. So the alimentary cannot, single opening. For example, Hydra is a classic example for that. So it has only single opening. Water enters into this. Okay. So then how it comes out? That's another mechanism. That's a single opening. And closed system of incomplete and complete. So what is incomplete? So incomplete is there is single opening, and here what is this? Planaria. So planaria are flatworms, platyhelminthes. We are going to take up each of these groups. Do not worry. Okay, so it has two openings. So that is mouth and anus, but the digestive is incomplete. Why? Because they are all of them are platyhelminthes. All of them are. Array, in your 9th standard, you all have learned why do we fall in. In that we talked about platyhelminthes, we talked about pathogens, helminthus diseases. Haven't you heard? They all are what? Parasites, endoparasites. Okay, so now coming to the circulatory system. They are also of two types: open, close. What do you mean by open? Open means
Mom, it doesn't have
no channels. Just the heart pumps the blood into the tissue, bathe the tissue. The blood bathes the tissue and through the sinuses in between that. So whereas closed circulatory system, there are blood vessels. So that is one. Next is symmetry. So body can be arranged into two symmetry. So all these you understand only with the help of certain diagrams. This the first group of. So here you can cut the organism into two equal halves, only passing through the center at certain plane, only one plane. So this is called as asymmetric. What is asymmetrical? So whatever, however, wherever you pass through so you cannot be divided, body cannot be divided into two similar halves. So that is asymmetry. Symmetry means, so you can cut into two equal halves, passing through the one side means bilateral. So through the any side is radial. So asymmetry, symmetry. Under symmetry, you have bilateral and radial. So your body is bilaterally symmetrical. So this is what? So here passing through any way, any plane. So circular. Whenever the body is circular, passing through any plane, you get two equal halves. Okay, so this is bilateral. Here body can be divided into right and left and only one plane. Almost all the organisms are bilateral. This one, if you cut it, so then it's not equal. But passing through the center, we are talking. Okay, so this is radial, this is bilateral. See, body can be divided into two equal halves by any plane along the central axis. So which are the groups? Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, and last echinoderms. In echinoderms, only adults, not the larvae, not the babies. Okay, here body can be divided into right and left halves only, one plane. So platyhelminthes to chordates. So now symmetry means the body of bilateral symmetrical animal has dorsal, ventral, okay, right and left lateral sides. So anterior, posterior. So these are the words simply you need to get familiarized with. So dorsal means back, ventral means front, anterior means front end, posterior means back end. So we would be talking all these. Okay, every time we are not giving you the meaning of the word. So we would be just saying what is on the dorsal side, what is on the ventral side. So you should be knowing what are these. So just introducing these words to you again. So that is dorsal, ventral, anterior and posterior. Usually in the front end of the body, what is there? Cephalic side. It is called as cephalic side. Cephalo means encephalo. Cephalo means head. Okay. So this is the posterior end and it is a tail end or anal end. So it's a tail end or anal end. Okay, so these are the points which you need to know. Not extensively, this much if you know and get exposed to questions of NEET, previous year 10 papers, you know animal kingdom very well. That's all. So here lots to memorize the scientific names and the features. Same like plant kingdom. That's why immediately I didn't take up. Okay, so next. Very importantly, the next one is the germinal layer, classification of the organisms with respect to the germinal layers. What are germinal layers? Wait. I want online students give the answer. Because I don't know whether they are sleeping or awake. Online students. Any one of you? Akash, Mukta, Nitya, Purvi, Sadhana, Soumya, Meda. Any one of you?
Ma'am, the embryonic layers.
Embryonic layers, yes. That means, can you elaborate on it?
Ma'am, if there's mesoderm or if there's no mesoderm, depending on that, it's diploblastic and triploblastic.
Sorry? Yeah, that's right. Ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. So what do you mean by that? What have you understood about it? Ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, what have you understood? Exactly. Each of these group of cells, so get differentiated into ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. So ectoderm forms all the organs which are related to the peripheral region. So there are the different specific regions. Okay, based on that, ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm are there. So when only two layers are formed, so then we call such an organism diploblastic animals. So because they have only two layers, all those which have all the three layers, triploblastic. So here you can see embryonic stages. So this is blastocele. So when in next year you will come to know all these names, blastula, gastrula, and then here you can see ectoderm is the outermost and endoderm is the innermost, and in between there is a mesoderm. So that's mesoglia is formed, and then mesoglia gets differentiated into mesoderm. Here you can see. So mesoglia, mesoderm. So why we need to know these things? Because see here, diploblastic organisms will have only two. So that is ectoderm and endoderm, inner and outer. So between these two layers, there is an undifferentiated jelly-like layer called mesoglia. Neat question. Please do write it. One more question, neat question, whatever. So what is mesoglia? In between the outer ectoderm and the inner endoderm, there is an undifferentiated jelly-like layer called mesoglia. Okay. So example, Nidaria ctenophora. What are these names? You feel that it is something new. One by one, we are going to take up these now. Okay. Now, this mesoglia, if it gets differentiated finally to form a group of cells which are in the middle, so they are called as endoderm. So platyhelminthes to chordata. Platyhelminthes. So now, what are these? These are very new. So now you will know. Porifera, Coelenterata, okay, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. All these are invertebrates. Okay, Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves, mammals are 5 groups which are vertebrates. So over a period of time, when you keep learning this, so it will sit in your mind, these words. That's it.
So mesoglia differentiates into mesoderm and triploblastic.
Undifferentiated jelly-like layer is mesoglia. Okay, so differentiated group of cells which will also give rise to some of the organs of the body is mesoderm. So when mesoderm is found, then 3 layers are found. So that is triploblastic animals. So all those from platyhelminthes to the mammals are triploblastic. Okay. So now this is an important concept many children will get confused with. So that is coelom. What is a coelom? Coelom is a body cavity. So coelom is the body cavity which is lined by mesoderm. Okay. So now let's take your body. So now if I take the section of your body, I'm talking about you.
Yes.
Okay. So now if I take a section, I'll make you cut like this. So what happens? Of course, you die. That is, I'm not talking about that. If I take the section of your body, that is what? Very good. You can see the organs. So where those organs are present? Online students, if I take your body and take a section like this. So now, do you see the hollow space in the center? Online students, do you see that hollow space? Is there any hollow cavity, hollow space in the center?
Yes, ma'am.
Center of the body. What is that hollow space called in your body?
Coelom.
No. What is that hollow space in your body?
Ma'am, the chest cavity.
Is it chest cavity? Wherever in your body, if I take a cross section just like this, okay, if I take a cross section just like this, what do you get to see? That is what I'm asking you. If I take a cross section just like this, so here it is the center, and what is this? This is what? Now I will fill it up with this. So this is a cavity. So this is the cavity. So what is this in the center? Hollow space. What's that hollow space? From your anus to mouth to anus, what is that hollow space called as?
Alimentary canal.
Alimentary canal. Gut. Simply you call it as gut, correct? So from this gut lining, okay, to the body lining, that is the body wall. This is the outermost lining. So this space you get to see. Do you get to see this space? So what is this space? So within that space, different. Sorry?
It's slow there. Like coming up this one.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, it's not synchronizing with my words. I know. But that's okay, it happens, no? So now in this space, what is there? What is there in the space? Your body is water can, is it? Then what is there from gut lining to the, so all the muscles, organs, everything
Yes.
is sitting there, right? So now this space, okay, between the gut lining and that, so that's the coelom. Okay, this coelom is lined by mesoderm. Are you understanding here? So all those organs are situated in that. So this is lined by coelom. So how these coelom are formed, whether it is present or there. So suppose if the organisms have coelom, acoelomate. No coelom, no coelom, acoelomate. Have coelom, coelomates. Okay, but there are some organisms which have coelom but not a true one. They are called as pseudocoelomates. So what is that actually about coelomate? So here in this picture, you can understand. See here, we have body cavity. So body lining is ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. So but here all these group of tissue is simply present. Okay, between the body wall, this is the central hollow space, is the digestive canal, alimentary canal, gut, isn't it? So from this gut lining till the body lining, it is filled with matrix. Such a matrix that's called as parenchyma. Is that clear? No. That parenchyma means what? Loosely arranged tissue. Chyma means tissue. It need not be confined only to the plant cell. Are you getting my point? So chyma means tissue, simply tissue. Okay. So porifera to platyhelminthes, they are acoelomates. That means porifera, coelenterata, platyhelminthes. Don't write two. Write all the three. Porifera, coelenterata, and platyhelminthes. All the three are acid. That means they do not have any coelom. Why? Because no body cavity. Why? Because the space is simply filled with a loosely arranged tissue called parenchyma. Okay. So now here in this section, in this picture, what is that you get to see? So body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Simply, so from the endodermal origin, there will be some cells will get pinched off.
Yes.
So from the endoderm, some of the cells will get pinched off and they appear here as pouches. Can you see? So
Yes.
the pinched off cells appear here as pouches. So lining a particular group of tissue. Okay. So they appear like mesoderm. Okay. But not actual mesoderm, which has to be truly formed. So therefore, such organisms which have these pouches around the organs, but not the true coelom, true cavity, they are called as pseudocoelom. Body cavity, what are the characteristics of pseudocoelom? Body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Instead, so they are scattered as pouches. Okay. So this mesoderm is endodermal in origin. It comes from endodermal. That's what endodermal tissue get pinched off and form pouches there. No. They line up and within the pouches, there are some organs, but they are not truly forming coelom. Truly a cavity, complete cavity where the organs can sit. It's not to be shown. It's not shown. So that you get to see in askelmenthes. Askelmenthes means round worms. Okay, askelmenthes means round worms. Okay, so the next is coelomates. So here the coelom arises from the actual mesoderm. So mesoderm are the central packed tissue. Okay, coelom is lined by a peritoneal layer. Peritoneal layer, that's what we say in the abdomen, peritoneum. So what is that peritoneal layer? Coelom is filled with coelomic fluid. So the hollow space cannot be there. Simply air cannot enter, isn't it? So our body cannot have air in it, isn't it?
Yes.
Hollow space or hanging organs. Is it possible? Suspended or no? It has to be connected to something. So which is that connective tissue? Areolar tissue. When you learn tissue, you will understand this. But you have learned about tissue in your 9th standard, isn't it? Guys, here also. So that space is the coelom filled space, and that is true coelom, coelomate. Pseudocoelomate. Pseudocoelomates do not have actual mesoderm. Instead, the mesodermal pouches are there. They are scattered. Here, coelom arises actually from mesoderm, and it is called as peritoneum. The lining layer, the layer which lines the coelom, and it's very clearly showing tissue, nervous system, thorax, your chest cavity. So what is there in your thorax? Circulatory, respiratory. And your abdomen, what's there in your abdomen? Complete, of course, digestive system arises, but actual function is happening in the abdomen, where intestine is there. So digestive system and excretory system. That's all. What else is there in your body? That's all. Oh, what is that? You need not think, scratch your head. So body is upper part, middle part, lower part. Actually, these are all extremities of our body. Extremities means extensions. Extensions of our body are limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs. Okay. Because we stand and the limbs, we look tall and that. So if your body is, so which are they? Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and all the chordates. Okay, so in between non-chordates and chordates, there is it's not a suddenly something is changed. Suddenly now, once upon a time, you had that antenna wala mobile phone. All of a sudden, you got this new, no. Over a period of time, so generation. So first generation, second generation computers, like that's how we are getting computers also. Because man, similarly, anything, whatever organisms, whether it's plants or animals, it's not a sudden change. It's a gradual descent from one form to another form. So that we learn next year in evolution chapter. So that's why we always connect evolution and classification. So evolution and classification are the two concepts of the same coin, two faces of the same coin.
Yes.
Okay. So now, here it is just we have shown here. So body covering from, can you see there? Yeah. The space between the body wall and the digestive cavity is filled with matrix. And that matrix is parenchyma. So this is just an picture. Pseudocoelom, here the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm, and mesoderm is scattered as pouches. That's in Ascalminthus. And here in the coelom, just a minute, students. Can you please connect 1 minute, guys? I just want to connect my. It's going off. Is it there? No. Only one socket, is it?
Yes.
See, there's another one.
Hey.
AC one.
If you no? Just connect it first now. AC wala you.
Started something. Look. Only one is there. Which is connected.
Hey, it's here. It's here. Yeah, sorry guys. So here, coelom arises from the mesoderm, and that's a true cavity. So what is the function of coelom actually? This is a 3-mark question in your subjective. What are the functions of coelom? Please do write down. So the 3 marks, 3 important valid points. So you need to give. So they accommodate visceral organ. What do you mean by viscera? Viscera means internal organs. Viscera is a medicinal word. Okay. Viscera means internal organs. They accommodate all the internal organs. So because of the coelomic fluid, you have understood all about fluid. No, in your previous year life processes you have learned about. So any pleural fluid, pericardial fluid, cerebrospinal fluid. So what is their functions? They give lubrication apart from that, shock absorption. So whenever there is a jerky movement, they prevent damage to the delicate organs of the body. Similarly, coelomic fluid, they reduce this friction between the organs in the internal organs. So they act as shock absorber, coelomic fluid. So these are the 3 important points with respect to the functions of coelom. Is that clear? Now, the last point, what is that? Is metamerism, metameric segments. So what is metamerism? So it's a phenomenon in which the body or the organs is externally and internally divided. So if you take this, what is the picture? What is this in the picture, Akash? What's in the picture?
It's an earthworm.
Exactly. So what do you get to see? Earthworm, Nereis. This is Nereis, the same family. So the body is, can you see the segments? Annulus rings like this. So these are called as metameres. So these are metameres, and you can see the repeated rings till the tail end. So from the front end till the tail end, you can see the segments. And these segments are called metameres. So these segments are totally, actually you can cut them into so many tiny pieces. Are you understanding? So they are annelids. So next
Ma'am, can
is
you explain?
metamerism is the segmentation of the body both internally and externally. They appear like annulus rings. Annulus rings. They're also called as annulus rings. Okay. Next, notochord. What is notochord? So notochord are mesodermally derived. What is the origin of your nerve cord?
Uh,
Notochord, spinal cord,
Yes.
which develops into a spinal cord in higher organisms. What is its origin? Mesoderm. So it's formed on the dorsal side, back side. Where is your spinal cord? Spine. We say it is on the back, during embryonic development. So animals with notochord are called chordates, and without notochord are called non-chordates. So you can see on the dorsal side the nerve cord which is developing here. Here, isn't it? So that is notochord. See, all the organisms have notochord, all the notochords. So now, all these at a glance. So how can we put it? So what are the different aspects with respect to the, so that is levels of organization, germ layers, symmetry, coelom. So when we say this levels of organization, what is, so these are the different groups. So here Porifera, Coelenterata is also called as Cnidaria, Ctenophora. Come on, give me all the names quickly. You have to mug it up now. You have to mug it up this one. So Porifera, order, you have to give me in the order so that it is helpful for you to understand. So Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. How many are there?
Ma'am, 11.
11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, these two, wait. We will go to this later. These are all only invertebrates. I just want you guys tell me invertebrates. Vertebrates is easy. In between we have protochordata, urochordata, hemichordata. So that we will learn later. So that
Ma'am,
is
so that's
in between, intermediate, neither chordate nor, so we come under that later. So now only invertebrates. I want you guys, everybody, I'm going to not switched off. I'm covering it. I covered it. Covered with black paper. I can cover it with wait, children, just 2 minutes. Okay, tell me all of you now. Yeah, go on giving me the names. So till it comes, so I'm just opening on my laptop PowerPoint, so it got hang. So give me the names of the invertebrates, all of you. So let's go alphabetically. Akash. Okay, Advai. Advai.
Yes,
Here
ma'am.
is our physical class student. Yes, Advai.
All.
All. Porifera,
Porifera, Nigeria, Stenophora, Annelida,
Platyhelminthes,
Platyhelminthes, Ascomyces, Annelida,
Arthropoda,
Echinoda,
Mollusca. Yeah. So how many did you count now?
7.
7?
Yes,
7? Okay, let's
Fine.
count. So let's see. Akash. Everybody is going to give me
Yes, ma'am.
that. Come on, in the order.
Ma'am, you're not sharing anything.
I'm not sharing. You share your voice now. I'm
Oh.
sharing my voice. Why
Oh.
should I share? I'm not sharing purposely. Come on.
He doesn't know what we need to do.
He knows, he knows. Come on, give the invertebrates, list of invertebrates in particular order. Come on. Akash. Okay, who can give here? Nitya? Mukta? Nitya? Meda? Cylinderata. Oh. Yes, Mukta.
I can give.
Yeah. Who is that? Who said who can give? Purvi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Purvi. Good.
Porifera, then Coelenterata. In Coelenterata, there's Nidaria Ctenophora, then Platyhelminth.
Coelenterata itself is another name, Nidaria. Why? We will discuss later.
Okay.
Platyhelminths,
Platyhelminths, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca.
Platyhelminthes means flat. Aschelminthes.
Yeah.
Aschelminthes are round worms.
The Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata.
Very good. So the next student is very good. Soumya. Soumya, you were not there for 2 classes. Why?
Ma'am, I was feeling very sick. Ma'am.
What happened?
Ma'am, I was feeling very sick.
But did you watch the videos? That's biomolecules we covered. Very important chapter.
Ma'am, by next class, I'll watch and come.
Please watch biomolecules before I begin physiology.
Okay, ma'am.
Before physiology, you must and should watch it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, should I tell?
Yeah.
Ma'am, Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda,
Yes.
Mollusca, Echinodermata. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am?
Progress.
Yeah, the next student. Sadhana. Sadhana.
Ma'am, I'm not sure.
Nitya.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Porifera, Nidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca,
Echinodermata.
Hemichordata.
Echinodermata, you can stop there because that's all is invertebrates. Next. Next. Who all left? Who all did not tell? I'll come to you in the end.
Ma'am, I have to say.
Ah.
Porifera, Sedentata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, and Echinodermata.
Echinodermata. So next. Who is the next person? Akash.
It's
Yes, Akash. Come on, Akash, quickly. Sadhana.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you repeat?
Porifera, Cylindridaria, Ctenophora, okay, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes. Porifera is the first one, very easy, pore-bearing organisms. So Cnidaria and Ctenophora. So that is CC, you remember like that, 2C after Porifera. So then helminthes, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes. So now 5 over there. So next, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. So remember 2, 2. One is Porifera, then comes 2C. Okay. So then helminthes, then 2A. Correct. So then Mollusca, Echinodermata. So Porifera. So one by one, let's take up each one of them and understand what are they. So Porifera. So as the name says, pore-bearing organisms are called Porifera. Pori means pores, fera means bearing, pore-bearing organisms. Okay, Porifera. So how do we learn each one of them? So this is the systematic way of learning. So when it comes to each of the organisms, levels of organization, body symmetry, germinal layers, whether coelom is present or not, or pseudo, all these, now you know level of organization, cellular level, body, all these. So this is the systematic way. All of you please write it down. So when it comes to any of the groups, if you know all of these, the examples that's given in your NCERT, there are 1,000 examples. It's not feasible for you to remember, correct? So whatever the examples given in NCERT only will be asked in the NEET exam, whichever competitive exam. Are you getting my point? So no need of remembering too much which you come across in the internet or sometime somewhere, not required. But you need to know all the NCERT examples. If at all NCERT has given the scientific names, it's very important for you to note down the same. Okay. So this is how we are going to learn each one of them. So that it's a systematic way of studying, knowing it. Okay. So that is, yeah. Scientist, which scientist? Beginning of the lessons they have given. Yeah, read it. Which scientist is given beginning of this the first lesson? So beginning of the third unit, whose name? Nobody knows? Dr. Ramachandra. Go and see. Yes. Open your NCERT. Know about that. That's a. Only in NCERT. Then there are so many. Any scientist knowing any plant names, knowing is it feasible for a human being? Not possible. Okay, so what is the level of organization? So now this is all you need to know, each one of them. That's all. Level of organization in Porifera. Cellular level. Symmetry. Mostly asymmetrical, but there are many which are radial symmetry. They are sessile. Sessile means cellular and sessile. That means they do not have locomotion. They are get attached to the substratum. Though they are animals, they get attached to the substratum as there is no locomotion. Okay, germ layers totally not there. Very, very, very primitive. Soon after protozoa, it's porifera only. Protozoans are unicellular, poriferans are multicellular. But so you can see here. Okay, so can you, okay, for you guys, you can see large. So I think the other students also can see here. There are, so then how these are the exoskeletons, these are called as spicules. What do you call the exoskeletons? So they are called spicules. Can you see those, the names of these exoskeleton there? Yeah, so they are spicules. And these are amoeboid cells. Species made up of, their pore-bearing bodies. Throughout the body, there are pores. And what's the common name of porifera? Sponges. Have you seen the sponges? Yes. Okay. So they are aquatic, totally marine. Okay. They are sedentary or sessile, attached. Either they are present solitary, singly, or colonial. That means they are in the colony form. So all these different sponges you will get to see in the bottom of the ocean. So they are marine. So digestive system absent. Okay. Why digestive system are absent? So because the water enters, can you see here, mouth? So the mouth, one opening, this opening is called as ostia. Ostium opening. So water enters through that, comes out through the pores. So that itself is the digestive system, circulatory system, everything. So through the water, whatever the bacteria, whatever is there will get digested. So this is all about porifera. Okay, so coming to the end is the reproduction always. So reproduction in porifera is fragmentation asexual. So they get fragmented and each fragment will grow into a new organism. And also these produce, have we given this here? Yeah, so they also produce endogenous buds called gemmules. You can write. So next year in the first chapter, you're going to learn this. So that is reproduction in organisms in 12th. Okay, so they produce gemmules. Gemmules are bud, which are formed endogenously inside the body. Endogenous buds, which are produced asexually in sponges. Male and female are present. The sex organs of male and female are present in the same body. Then what do you call such an organism? Hermaphrodite. So in plants, we call it bisexual, and here it is hermaphrodite. So fertilization is internal within that, and larvae stage is present, always larvae is formed, and this larvae grows into a little more bigger, and then an adult is formed. Okay, so this much is the information. So it's asexual and sexual, hermaphrodite. So male and female sex organs are present. So internal fertilization, development is indirect. Indirect means larval stage is formed and then the development would form always. Okay. Now, what are the unique features that are confined only to this particular plant? So this particular group of organisms. So here there is water canal system. So all the online students, are you getting to see the screen? Nitya?
Yes, ma'am.
Nitya?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you getting to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, this more duplication has come. That's the reason. How to close that?
Maybe a button on the. And there will be a button on the keyboard. Yes.
You can see, no?
Yes.
No, you guys can see only if I make it full size. That's true. So, are you getting to see the screen? Online students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, water canal system. So, here the water is a unique feature of this poriferans. Okay. So, this you get to see only in poriferans. So, water canal system. And so here these water enters through the minute pores, and these pores are called ostia. So in the body wall, and from where it goes out through osculum. So what is osculum? So in the center, the central cavity. So this is osculum, single opening. This is ostia. Ostium is a single pore and ostia is plural. So water enters through ostia and exit through osculum. Enters through ostia. Can you see the here? So enters through ostia and exit through osculum. And what do you call the cavity within the body? Spongocoel. Seal is a cavity. So canal system is used for food gathering, gaseous exchange, and removal of water. So food gathering means nutrition, gaseous exchange means respiration, removal of waste means excretion. So all these three is everything, all the metabolic activities is because of water canal system. So this is a unique feature we get to see in sponges. Water enters through ostia and exit through osculum. Osculum is a single opening in the upper part of the body. Okay. So here, the another unique feature here is, so here you can see this is osculum, the single opening, and this is the spongiocele, the central cavity, and spongioceles are lined by choanocytes. Choanocytes are collar cells. So what are choanocytes? Choanocytes are collar cells. Are you understanding? So water, spongiocele and canals are lined by choanocytes. Choanocytes are collar cells. Okay. So these choanocytes, so they help in, they're just make them stay within the place, choanocytes. Okay. So collar, make the shed stay in that. So collar cells. So body is supported by the exoskeleton. So I already told you. So these are the exoskeleton. They're called spicules. Okay. So these are spicules are of different shapes. You can see here. Various shapes of spicules are present along with spongin fibers. Okay, so there are spongin fibers and various shapes of spicules are also present. Okay.
Ma'am, what is spongin?
Fibers, just fiber-like structures. So because of that only many sponges, they use it to rub their body and all these, no? Euspongia. These are the Eucliptalia, Euspongia, Spongilla, freshwater sponge. So this is a only freshwater sponge. And this is Cycon. Cycon is very famous. Okay, Cycon is what we get to see in the ocean predominantly. Okay, and this is bath sponge, Euspongia. So this is complete at glance. So what is the grade of organization? Go on giving me the answer. Cellular level. So what's the symmetry? I want online students give the answer. Symmetry.
Asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical, but there are radial also. Germ layers totally absent. Coelom, acoelomate. So what is the habitat? So they are predominantly marine and sessile or sedentary, which will get attached to the substratum. So what is the digestive system? Intracellular digestion, that is water vascular system. So this water canal system, not vascular, sorry. So water canal system is how? So water enters through ostia and exit through osculum, that's a single opening. So while doing that, what all they help in? So they help in getting nutrition, procuring nutrition, exchange of gases, then removal of waste from the body. So what's a reproduction? Fragmentation and formation of the gemmules. They are asexual endogenous buds. And the sexual reproduction is also seen. They are hermaphrodite. That means both the sexes are in the same body, and therefore internal fertilization. That means, so same sperms enter into the same, fused by the same egg, which is in the same body. Okay. So water canal system, millions of ostia, all these. So what do you call the central canal? Spongiocele. So canals are lined by specialized cells called choanocytes, collar cells. So body is supported by spicules. They are the exoskeleton-like structures which are of different shapes. Along with that, spongin fibers are also present. So 3 examples are given in your textbook. Which are they? Cycon, Spongilla, Euspongilla, and Eucliptalia. So these are the three major examples that are given as per your NCERT. Going to the next, that is Cnidaria or Coelenterate. So what's the level of organization? It's a tissue level of organization. So what's the symmetry you get to see in that? So symmetry is always radial symmetrical. That means passing through any plane of the organism, you get the organism would always divide into equal halves. Germ layers, diploblastic, coelom, acoelomate. So they are predominantly aquatic. Sessile means they are attached to the substratum, or you also find free swimming, single and free swimming. Either they present in solitary or always they are present in colony. So coral reef, have you heard? What is Great Barrier Reef? In your geography class, you would have heard that in the previous years.
Yes.
What is that? Your Great Barrier Reef.
A lot of corals are there.
Corals, coral reef. Okay, so that's an example. So next, digestive system, it is incomplete. Okay, so intracellular within the cell and extracellular is also there, depending on. So this is a classic example of Hydra. You can see. So it eats Daphnia, a water flea. It is eating. So it is within the cavity, and such a digestion which happens through the cavity is called as extracellular digestion. If it happens inside the cell, it is intracellular. If it happens in the cavity, it is extracellular. How to increase the thickness of that? I don't know.
It must be there.
I don't want to.
Large surface.
No, it's nothing is there. Here you can, oh, you don't get to see it. I don't know how.
On the thickness of the ink. Mom, you're sharing the PPT, right? So there will be an option to check the size beside the colors.
No, that's there in the PPT. Here it is not there. No.
Mom, you need to enable it.
That's okay. You can see, if I write here.
Yes.
No, for you it is. Okay. So sometimes when the digestive enzymes released into the gland cell, then the soft produced digested food particles get engulfed, and food particle will be digested in the food vacuole. So this is how it happens. So next, reproduction is a very important point here you need to know. So there are two types here. Polyp reproduces. Polyp and medusa are the two kinds. So polyp reproduces asexually with the help of a budding, and medusa reproduces sexually. Keep this in mind. There are two forms of coelenterate. One, freely swimming polyp and medusa. So in most of them, separate sexes are there. So external fertilization. What is external fertilization? Fertilization which takes place outside the body. So most are separate sexes. Please cut this. It's not always. So they are hermaphrodites only. They are hermaphrodites. That means sexes are in the same organism. But still there is external fertilization. Why?
Mom, is it to
Because
evolution for various?
because sperms and ova matures in a different time. Because of the maturity period of these gametes different. So development is indirect. What do you mean by indirect? So first larvae is formed, that is the indirect. So here you can see the sexual reproduction. The medusa and the polyp. So polyp forms Asexually another polyp. And then asexual reproduction, then they go to adult medusa. Adult medusa undergoes asexually to form the same bud. So they undergo sexual reproduction to produce either polyp or medusa. So therefore, sexual reproduction. See here, two jellyfish. Okay, so they are gonads. So they are the jellyfish is a medusa. So sexual reproduction. Female lays eggs, male lays sperms, undergo fertilization, zygote divides, redivides. Can you see the division of zygotes here? Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah. So now they develop into a larva and larva develop into an adult as usual. Okay.
So polyp gives rise to
Polyp give rise to polyp, that is asexual reproduction. Medusa always undergo sexual reproduction. So polyp and medusa are the two forms of the structures, adult structures that we get to see in Coelenterata, Cnidaria. So now, why do you call them Cnidaria? What is the reason for Cnidaria? Coelenterata. Why do you call it Coelenterata? Because of the central cavity called coelenteron. Central cavity is present. Okay, so this cavity within the body is called coelenteron. That's the name. That's why, see, every organic group of organisms has specific name because of specific feature. Coelenteron. Okay, so but why Cnidaria? What's the reason for Cnidaria? So tentacles or finger-like. See, they have, see, from the opening, mouth is the only opening. So from the mouth arises a tentacles. What are tentacles? What are tentacles? Finger-like structures that arise, that surround the opening. So these tentacles, finger-like structures. So use the, what is the purpose of tentacles? They help in capturing food and defensive in function. Why defensive? Capturing food, easy to capture the food. So why do you call them a defensive structures? Because they have nidoblast. Are you understanding? Nidocytes also they are called as. Nidoblast famously they are called. They are the stinging cells. They sting. They make the other organism numb. Okay, so they have certain toxic substances. They inject that into the body of the other organism and they make them numb. So these poison-filled capsules that are present in the nidoblast are called nematocyst. Okay, what do you call the poison-filled structures? Nematocyst. And nidoblasts are used for anchorage, defense, and to capture prey. All the 3 points.
So nematocyst is present in the nidoblast.
Nidoblast. And they help to capture prey. So can you see the coelenteron? What is coelenteron? A gastrovascular cavity within the body with an opening in the upper part is hypostome. Why hypostome? Stoma means opening. Hypo is below. So why below? Below the tentacles. So all the tentacles surround them and below that there is a opening. Yes, it is possible. That's what we have shown in this. Polyp and medusa are the two forms. There are two types of body forms. Polyp is tubular, attached, asexual form, and with upward direction mouth and tentacles. So hydra is a polyp or a medusa? Polyp. So medusa example, jellyfish, classic example. So Adamsia is what? What is the jellyfish botanical scientific name which is given in your NCERT? Aurelia. Have you heard any Aurelia outside? You wouldn't be knowing. You would also don't know. Aurelia is a famous women outfit. No, you don't know. Okay. Aurelia. So this is medusa and this is polyp. So medusa is umbrella-like. Remember, free swimming, sexual form with downward direction mouth and tentacles, upward mouth and tentacles, polyp. Medusa, downward mouth and tentacles. That's all. So now alternation of generation is the one which we have seen in other organisms also. So what is this alternation of generations we know here? So what is alternation of generation? So it is called as metagenesis. Genesis means formation. Meta means formation of the adult in a bigger way, from larvae to other, metamorphosis, metagenesis. So here you can see the complete picture. Okay. So this is, what is this? Jellyfish, Aurelia. Female and male. Fertilization, zygote. Now it develops into a larvae to polyp. So now the mature polyp. So now that it becomes an adult. So this mature polyp becomes an adult. Are you getting to see? So this polyp now forms buds. Hydra forms buds, and when they form bud, they develop into a hydra only, because they reproduce only sexually. Okay, so now the polyp, so reproductive polyp, so the bud, medusa bud, so when they produce reproduction buds, when they become medusa, so again medusa is formed. So polyp, medusa, that's how they form. Okay, so best example, Obelia, Aurelia, Obelia. Obelia is like a brother of jellyfish. Just like that, all of them.
Can you
Metagenesis. What is metagenesis? It's a process. Metagenesis is an alternation of generation exhibited by cnidarians, where polyps produce medusa asexually and medusa forms the polyp sexually. This is what very important. Polyps produce medusa asexually and medusa forms polyp sexually. Alternation of generation. Alternately they form. Polyp undergo always asexual reproduction and medusa is formed. If at all medusa is formed, so if at all polyp is only formed, they again undergo asexual. If at all medusa is formed, then the medusa always undergoes sexual reproduction. That is called as metagenesis, which is exhibited by Invertebrates. Okay, so this is a coral polyp. How the coral looks like? Spherical, long, elongate. Have you seen the elongated structures? Yeah. So coral polyp is shown here. So you can see here nematocyst. What is a nematocyst? Poison stinging cells. So these are the tentacles, mouth, okay, mesoglia here, digestive filament. So this is a polyp. So mushroom coral, rain coral. Okay, so see here, this is what we use, corals. Okay, tubipora. There are different types of corals. These are all actual pictures. Staghorn coral. Can you see? So what is that corals have? That is calcium carbonate is the jelly liam in the skeleton. So this is a table coral, rain coral, pillar coral, and coral is made up of calcium carbonate, and this is a Great Barrier Reef of Australia. Lots of corals are there. Hydra, Obelia, Physalia, Portuguese man of war. This is there in your textbook. Adamsia, sea anemone. Pennulata, so that is sea pen. Georgia, sea fan. Meandrina, brain coral. All these are from NCERT textbook. Pictures are real. I mean, they're not pictures, photos. Yeah. Oh, it's beautifully seen. Oh, we have escaped from 9th standard. We escaped from 9th. Yes. Okay, so now everything at glance. This is what important for you. This is complete summary of this cnidarians. whatever is required for need. So what is required for need? Everything is there here. Summary. Unique feature is very, very important for you know. Why do you call Coelenterata? Because of coelenteron. Why do you call Nidaria? Because of nidoblast. So what are nidoblasts? Stinging cells. So they have nematocysts which make the prey numb. Okay. Even for human beings also they create not numbness that in a great extent because human beings are very large body. So they create for that particular portion of the structure, your body, which stings. So you will have kind of numbness or something in that place for some time. Okay, so corals have, yeah. So they have hypostoma, means surrounding the stoma, above the opening, there are tentacles. So which are the examples? Hydra, Obelia, Aurelia, Physalia, all very easy, just the rhyming words, isn't it? Hydra is very easy, you would have seen. Hydra is the one which is there for your practicals. Probably they show you that in your lab sessions. Obelia, Aurelia, Physalia, Adamsia. What specimen? Slides. Permanent slide. We have Hydra in our lab. We also have a set of slides. So because if you all can come one day, I will show you all the slides.
Like all CBS.
Penatula, Gorgonia and Meandrina. So you have to remember Obelia, Aurelia, Adamsia, Physalia. Which is that out of which the Portuguese man, for what is that? We have given the picture here. How it looks, look there. So this is, they have asked several times in NEET, the name as per. So this is how it looks. So sea anemone is Adamsia. So sea anemones belong to, is it a polyp or medulla? Tentacles and openings on the top. Medusa is down. Polyp is up. So sea anemone belongs to coelenterate. So because many questions, so later on in the end I will ask you. Sea anemone, sea horse, sea lily, sea feather. How are they different? All from C. So which one is different? Sea anemone is coelenterate. Sea horse is anyone guys? Sea horse, sea pen, sea fan. All these are sea pen, sea fan are nidarians. Sea anemone is nidaria. Sea horse is what is sea horse, guys? The horse standing in the sea. Is that so? Then what is sea horse then? Nobody knows? Oh my God, hippocampus. What is seahorse? Seahorse is a fish. So totally different. It's a chordata. Oh, all right. So sea anemone, sea lily, sea urchin, all these echinodermata. So it's so confusing. Just like silverfish. Silverfish is what? Fish? Insect. So similarly, seahorse is horse? No, fish. So this is what they'll ask you in NEET. Sea fan, sea pen. What are they? They are coelenterates. Whereas sea urchin, echinodermata. Okay, so this is what you need to know.
So are there like merits of Hydra?
Okay, so did you all write this?
Yes.
Okay, so the next is comb jellies or sea walnut. Again, see, all of you see is there here again. Sea walnut. So why do you call them sea walnuts? Because they appear like sea walnuts. So do you want to take 10 minutes break? Please take a break. Don't go here and there. Akash,
Yes, ma'am.
Mukta, Nitya,
Yes, ma'am.
Sadhana, Soumya, Meda.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So let's take Kum jellies now. Kum jellies means mouth-watering. Sea walnuts, they are also called as. Okay. So why are they called Kum jellies? What's the reason? So they are tissue level of organization. So then radial symmetry, this is how they look like. So you can see the comb-like structure. Can you see here? So they are transparent comb-like structure. See, marine life are the most variants. There are a lot of variety in the marine life, isn't it? So you would have seen the colors. It could be colors or it could be forms. So marine life is most vivacious. Okay, so they are diplomatic. I'm sorry, they are diploblastic. I told they are diploblastic. So what do you mean by diploblastic? What do you mean by diplomatic? Diplomatic never comes along with biology. Diplomatic is economics. So they are diploblastic. Which are those two germ layers, Akash? Akash, which are those two germ layers?
Won't it be the ectoderm and the endoderm?
Yes. Outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, that's all. So what is there in the center? No mesoderm means what is there? Something should be present. No, what is that? What's that in the center? Something should be present. What is that? Mesoglia, parenchyma cells. Okay, so why do you call these as comb jellies? Exactly, comb plates. They have comb plates, you can see here. So where is mouth? Mouth is, so it is inverted like this. So gut, diverticulum. So let's understand that. So exclusively marine. So you do not get to see that in the, so they are either solitary, that is singly present, okay? And digestive system is incomplete. What is incomplete digestive system? We discussed that in the beginning. Huh? One opening. So intracellular and extracellular, that also we discussed in the beginning. What do you mean by that? No, intracellular and extracellular. What do you understand by that word? Intra means what? Within. Correct. Intracellular, within the cell. Extracellular, outside the cell. That means in the alimentary canal, in the gut. Okay. So they have
Inside the cell, in the sense, inside the cell or the group of cells.
inside the cell, every cell. Okay. So pleurobrachia. So that's one of the examples here. Okay. That's as per your NCERT, pleurobrachia. So then you can see respiratory system is absent. So the comb-like plates here, you can see the comb plates here. Okay. So then circulatory system is also not there. Circulatory system is also not there. And reproduction, only sexual reproduction is seen. They are hermaphrodite, both the sexes in the same organ. External fertilization, that means they discharge sperms and female part discharge ovum and the fuse on the outside the body. Development is indirect, that means from the larval stage. What do you mean by indirect development? So larval stage is present, So larvae grows into a adult. So that's an external development.
Mom, is it the same reason like for external fertilization? Mom, because both the organs are not
Need
developed.
not be. Need not be. Okay.
So can they be like internal?
Yeah, in Hydra we saw very primitive but cross fertilization. So here external fertilization means they can be, it is. Okay, but all primitive features. Locomotion is by 8 vertical external row of ciliated comb plates. That's why we call them comb jellies. Why do you call them jellies? They're transparent and jelly-like. Okay, so that is locomotion, 8 vertical external rows of comb plates. So how many are there? 8 vertical external rows of comb plates are present. So, and tentacles are totally absent. So now from Coelenterate to Ctenophora, there are no tentacles. Okay, so tentacles are exclusively the features of Coelenterates, and here you do not get to see them. So comb plates, you can see the close-up look of these comb plates. Whatever is shown here, here it is given. Very, very important. So till now I was, you would have come to know now with the pictures what we have shown. So they have exclusive feature. What is that exclusive feature? You get to see here. Bioluminescence. They emit light. So they emit light. Bioluminescence. So that is, can you see here? So they look so beautiful in the, see here. These are all photographs, not pictures, just painted or from the computer. They are not, they are actual photos. So they are bioluminescence. Can you see? So beautiful. Sometimes they give even that Vibgyor, white light from the wind. So it's just beautiful. So ctenophores are very, very, very beautiful organisms. See?
Mom, why is there a light?
Bioluminescence is one of the capacity. Very good question. So it is a particular protein. Bioluminescence. Okay, luminescence means what? Emit light. So why it happens? Because of the particular proteins. It's a gene governed feature. Okay, gene governed. So how it happens, all these you will learn next year in genetics. Next year you have extensively genetics. Beautiful chapters, interesting chapters. So now all these at glance, this will help you a lot, isn't it? So great organization. Fatafat, go on giving me, now I'll ask Sadhana to give me the answers. So Sadhana, all about ctenophora. Quickly read everything, whatever is shown here.
Yes, ma'am. The grade of organization is tissue. It has radial symmetry. It's diploblastic, acoelomate, and exclusively marine, solitary, and pelagic. The digestive system is incomplete. Intracellular and extracellular digestion. Respiratory system is absent. Circulatory system is absent. Reproduction only sexual, hermaphrodite. External fertilization development is indirect. Unique features. Locomotion is by 8 vertical external rows of ciliated comb plates. Tentacles present, shows bioluminescence. Examples are Tenoplana, Pleurobrachia.
Yeah, Tenoplana and Pleurobrachia. So what is the unique feature of Porifera? Nitya, what's the unique feature of Porifera? Nitya,
Yes, ma'am.
what's the unique feature of Porifera?
Ma'am, the spicules.
Very good. Is that the only Porifera?
Ma'am,
Spicules.
ma'am, they're asymmetric, multicellular.
Array, all metazoa are multicellular. That multicellular, all these you cannot say as if unique feature. Unique means what? Unique means what? Unique means which is related to that particular group only. That's called unique. Okay, so what's the special feature here? Water canal system, then formation of spicules, gemmules, endogenous budding. Okay, so then coinocytes, collar cells. Okay, what's the unique feature in Coelenterate? Presence of coelenteron and
Nidoblasts.
Nidarian, that's a nidoblast, numb. They make the person, the prey numb. That is nematocysts. Okay, what is the unique feature of Ctenophora? Ciliated hoof plates which help in locomotion and bioluminescence. Okay, which are the two examples that's given?
Pleurobrachia, Tenoplana.
Tenoplana and Pleurobrachia, which is related to the open sea sediments of the sea. So now comes the flatworms. Platy means flat, helminthes means worms. So they are flat. Okay. Can you see the real photo here? Yes. So how long are they? But how come they enter your body? While eating noodles? No? No, they are noodles like. Does it enter your body while eating noodles? So then how do they enter your body? Of course, very good. Very good. Contaminated water. So then how can you will get to see that, no? Then they enter through into your body through as a in a larval stage, which is not even shown to your eyes, that tiny. And then they grow in your body. So they have hooks and suckers. They stick to the body lining, tissue lining, and they cause different symptoms. Okay, so they are flatworms. So can you see that they are very totally flat? Okay, bilaterally symmetrical. And the triploblastic has all the germinal layers. Okay, so you can see the germinal layers shown in the picture there. So triploblastic, ectoderm, endoderm, and middle mesoderm. So they are level of organization. What is that? Tissue level of organization. So we wrote organ. So we wrote, no, organ system is not there in this. Please cut it. Organ, tissue, and organ. Okay, organ level of organization, because they have, yeah, I'll show you the excretory system. So then bilateral symmetry, triploblastic, okay, acoelomate. That means no body cavity, no coelomates. See the look here, the TS, that is section. So this is mesoderm, muscle layer, ectoderm, body wall, mesenchyme is there, not mesoderm. Okay, so they are mainly aquatic endoparasites. Very few are free living, not, but predominantly they are endoparasite, lives inside the body of the organism. Liver fluke, planaria is free living. Okay, one example for free living is planaria. Okay, so this tapeworm lives in the intestine. Liver fluke, so that also lives in your body. Planaria is not. Planaria is a free living. Okay, so digestive system. So incomplete, So only a single opening which acts as mouth and anus. So only a single opening, so which acts as mouth and anus, when that is also not in the anterior or posterior position, it's present here. Okay. Yeah. So respiratory totally absent because they are endoparasites, they do not require. So then circulatory is also absent because they take up your completely digested food from your body inside the body. And asexual reproduction, last year you have learned, this is the same picture you had in your NCERT last year also, correct? So they are fragmentations. That means each fragment will have, after understanding the fragmentation in the planaria only, people have understood, that is, scientists have understood about the stem cells technology. So why is it possible for these organisms to undergo that fragmentation? Each fragment can develop into a new organism. So how is it possible? How this new organism is formed? Because each fragment will have a specialized cells. So these cells are totipotent. What do you mean by that? Total potential to develop into a new organisms. The cells are totipotent in nature. Totipotent, total potential, totipotent. Yeah. Totipotent. So you have sexual reproduction is also here. They are hermaphrodite. That means both the sexes in the same organ, same organism. Internal fertilization. What do you mean by internal fertilization? That means, so here you can see, can you all see the screen? I don't think I can zoom. You people can see easily, right? So it's quite big for you guys and clear also. Much better than those, right? Projector? Yeah. See here, ovary, testis. Can you see here pink and blue? In the testis and ovary of the planaria, ovary, testis. So then the duct is oviduct. And here there is a male pore, that is genital pore, and female here. So internal means, so genital pores are here. So copulatory organ. So this introduces sperms into the oviduct, and that's how fertilization takes place. So development again internal. So larval stage are many. So then only you call it as internal. So this is how. So here unsegmented, they do not have segments. They do not are dorso-ventrally flattened. Both they are very flat. So totally flat. And okay. So excretion by flame cells. These flame cells are called protonephridia. So they are the tiny structures which help in excretion. So can you see here? Flame cells. So these flame cells help in excretion.
The digestive system is not good.
Because they are totally endoparasites. Because they always eat and produce waste. Isn't it?
Since they're aquatic,
Why are they aquatic? Platyhelminthes are endoparasites. They live in your body. Yeah, live in your body. Where do they live in your body? Predominantly in your intestine. But there are certain platyhelminthes. I'll show you here. Loa is a platyhelminthes. So that round one that will live in your retina. There's a video also recently from a person from Bijapur. So they removed that platyhelminthes, which is Loa from her retina. So even if it is left there, even it would cause blindness.
But it's big.
Yeah, so you can see that he's removing a thread-like structure from the retina. On your YouTube, it is there. Okay. So how do they cling to the tissue? They have hooks and suckers. So hooks and suckers help them to cling, attach to the tissue of the body. So they also help in absorption of the food from the body surface. So can you see the sucker? Sucker is just like your, what you say, vacuum rubber. You can tabletop some equipment or something, you put it on the tabletop, no? You will hit to the some even surface and the vacuum. It causes the, that you know, no? It sucks to the,
Mom, like vacuum cleaner, it sticks.
not
to-
vacuum cleaner. Suppose if you have to attach something to the
Yes, ma'am.
tabletop, that rubber will be there, no? So that will suck to the,
Mom, the
so it's a
cardboard.
concave like, so when you do it like this, so the air escapes and the vacuum is created, it will suck to the table and then it will get attached. Exactly, when you keep the, you suck the air, and as long as there's a vacuum, it will get sucked to your mouth. Small children play like that, no? That you know, right? So that is sucker. Okay, so this is hooker. Hooks and suckers are the structures which help these platyhelminthes remain attached to the host body. Host is the victim, isn't it? Now, these are the names given in your textbook. As per that, we have given here. Taenia solium, what is that? Tapeworm. So those who eat pork, which is it is very common, commonly present in the person who eats pork. Okay, pork is a meat pig. Okay, so pig meat. So one who eats that. So actually, it is reported. It is, the studies have shown that. So these worms, platyhelminthes. Which are the platyhelminthes diseases? Can you tell me? Anybody, can you tell me platyhelminthes diseases? Why do we fall ill? In your 9th standard, it is there. Which are the platyhelminthes diseases? Which is helminthes? Nobody knows? Online students. In why do we fall ill? It is there. Online students. Online students. Nobody knows. I'm surprised. Let me see. So here, Taenia solium, platyhelminthes diseases. Okay, after Ascalminthes, let me see whether you know it. What that area causes? No? Oh, okay. Let's see. So now this one, Soumya did the previous one, Cylinderates. Sorry, Soumya did Tinophora.
Ma'am, I didn't do
Huh?
Ma'am, I didn't do anything.
Oh, so who did? Now each one of you, there are 8 and one student has escaped. Who is that? Who escaped? Akash, Nitya, Purvi, Sadhana, Soumya, Meda, Mukta escaped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each one of you give your own. So Porifera for Nitya. Who did Cylinderates? Who did Cylinderates? Purvi. So Cylinderates for Purvi. Tinophora for Sadhana. Now Swara, you will do platyhelminthes.
Yes.
Read all those at glance, loud. Yes, very loud.
So, grades of organization, organ and organ system. Symmetry is bilateral. Germ layers triploblastic. column is a columnate. Habit
A coelom.
a coelomate. Habit and habitat is mainly aquatic and endoparasites. Some are free living.
Very few. So let's make it very few. Very few are free living. Yeah.
Digestive system is incomplete. Respiratory system is absent. Circulatory system is absent. Reproduction is asexual fragmentation and sexual
Hermaphrodite.
hermaphrodite. Internal fertilization development is indirect, mainly larval stages. Unique features: unsegmented dorsoventrally flattened body, except tapeworms. Excretion by flame cells,
Protonephrid. Yeah, flame cells. What is the other name for flame cells? Protonephrid. Yeah. Okay. So parasites. What is the unique feature? How do they cling to the? All those parasitic endoparasites cling to the, are attached to the tissue, host tissue, with the help of hooks and suckers. So they absorb nutrients from the host with these hooks and suckers. They attach and they absorb. So Tinea solium, tapeworm. Fasciola, planaria. Planaria is a free living. Okay. So coming to the next. So here you can see. So these are the actual pictures you can see. Okay. Pseudoceras. Okay. Urilepta. So this is Urilepta. This is Pseudoceras. So all these you can see. So excretory pore, excretory duct. So protonephridia, all these. So now coming to the Ascalmanthus, they are round worms. So they are flat, these are round. That's all is the difference. So here you can see. So this is very important question asked in your practicals also. You will study this. So male has, can you see the male tail end? Can you see the end in the tail?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is head, this is tail. How do you know? This is head, this is tail. So how do you know? That's all. What is there in the head? A globus portion, and it has a sensory structure, right?
Yes.
So male is the tail end is coiled. Female, there is no coiling here. So male has this coiling. Okay. Bilateral symmetrical. Example, filarial worm. Can you see this worm present in this person's eye?
Yes.
That name is loa loa.
Mom, this is also tissue level.
Oh, organ level. Organ system, no, organ level. Organ system comes from annelida, actually. Okay. So you can see wherever an opening is there, that is the front end, which we call mouth, because the body is not differentiated into head, thorax, abdomen, isn't it? So here, wherever anus is there, that's a back end, post end. So this is how it is. And germinal layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So it is coelomate or acoelomate. Coelomate. So then, can you see the pseudo? Why do you call the pseudocoelomate? Why do you call them the pseudocoelomate?
Mom, because
Pouches.
pouches.
Can you see the pouches there? Yeah. Pseudocoelom pouches. Can you see here in this cross section cut end? This is a beautiful picture.
Yes.
Yeah. This slides is exclusively good, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So can you see this? What is this? This is your intestine. This is how it looks in your endoscopy. Do you know endoscopy means?
Yes, ma'am.
They introduce a tiny camera into your through your mouth into your intestine. It goes everywhere to your stomach and it will show what is the problem in your stomach. So see here, this is how it is taken. Can you see how it clinging to the intestinal wall?
Yes.
And how long it is look there?
Mom, so if it's intake, then inside there is HCl, right? In our stomach. Why doesn't it?
In your intestine, HCl is there?
No, the stomach, through the stomach.
That's why nothing stays in your stomach. Only bacteria can live. Helicobacter pylori, which causes what?
Peptic ulcer.
Peptic ulcer. Very good. So only that lives because that has the enzymes which can withstand that particular temperature and pH. These organisms cannot live in your stomach.
They will die of that.
Like they go through the stomach.
Go through the stomach is one thing. Yes, of course, they have to go through the stomach to the intestine because when it is intake of food, but they are go through the water. They can cross the peritoneal layer barrier because they are very tiny. So later on, they live there. This is roundworm inside the. So when you take germ, what is that? That medicine, some powder the doctor gives, and when you drink it, so these that will change the pH and they cannot live there, and it will come through the back end. You understand? So entry and exit, two gates in our body. So it comes through the exit gate. So, but as long as it lives there, what it does? It causes loose motion, nausea. Okay, so then it will die because it is taking all your nutrient. The person become weak. Okay, always pain in the stomach. I mean, tummy pain, lower abdominal pain. All these will be there. So this is Ascalmentis because it has both anus and mouth. It has complete. Yeah, so well-developed muscles are shown which show peristalsis movement. Can you see the muscles here? So these are there. And respiration is totally absent because they are parasites. Circulatory system is not there because they are parasites and take the ready food from the host. They are the first time they are dioecious. What do you mean by dioecious? Having the separate sex, sexual dimorphism. So in which of the following sexual dimorphism is shown? Sexual dimorphism means male is smaller and has the coiled end, tail end, whereas female is longer. So that's called as sexual dimorphism. Okay, so development is either direct or indirect. Can you see these pictures here? So what is that overall? So what's a unique feature? Syncytium. That is syncytial means you have come across this word multinucleate because there is no cross wall present. It appear all the nuclei are present together. So epidermis and thick cuticle. So they have cuticle which is, yeah, so no septa. So that's why syncytial epidermis. Epidermis has many nuclei and there is no septa, that is thick cuticle. Cuticle is also present in your previous slides. You would have seen the cuticle present here. So can you see the cuticle here? Yeah, so cuticle. So this cuticle will protect. Cuticle is what? Cutin, biomolecules, quickly. Suberin, cutin, I told you. What are they? Oh, sorry. Online students, what are cutins and cutins? They are vaccine means what? They are lipids, derived lipids. They are derived lipids. Are you getting to hear, online students? Online students? Online students, are you there? Soumya,
Yes,
Sadhana, Purvi, Nitya. Okay. So now, so which is the excretory? What is that excretory which helps in removal? So they have, what's the unique feature? Sexual dimorphism. Already I told you, females are longer than male. So, and what is this full name? Ascaris lumbricoides. What's the full name of this organism? Ascaris lumbricoides. What do they produce? Which disease they cause? Ascariasis. Okay, lumbricoides produce ascariasis. So this is the male. Mushroom is what? Basidiomyces. Oh,
Ascomyces.
hey, that is agaricus. That's not ascaris. That's agaricus. Mushroom is agaricus and it belongs to fungi and it belongs to the class Basidiomyces. This is Ascaris lumbricoides. This is a proper parasite which is commonly found. So its larvae is abundantly found in pork and any other meat. So therefore, so it can enter to, it's not that only meat eating people get, even the vegetarians get. How? Because through the vegetables, if you do not wash the vegetables thoroughly and you make salad and eat it, you are eating larvae also along with that. Larvae will go into your body. It will start developing.
Yes.
So these are the, that's why our cooking. How do we, when we eat salad, what is the reason of putting lemon? Taste is secondary. It makes the food acidic in medium. Are you understanding? These are the scientific reasons our forefathers, they started. So old traditional people. So they started using all these, which has a lot of scientific reasons. Turmeric, why? Why? Biomolecules again, curcumin.
Yes.
So what is curcumin? Anti-drugs in the secondary metabolites.
Yes.
So in plants you get curcumin. Curcumin longa is what? Turmeric. So turmeric is an anti-cancerous drug. So we use that extensively in cooking. So Indian cooking has all these, keeping lot of scientific things in mind.
Yes.
So its the usage of turmeric in the food is Indian origin. Okay, not to get yellow color in the food. It is anti-cancerous. Drinking, putting a small pinch of, a very, very tiny pinch of that haldi doodh, hot milk in the night will help you. So how? Because it is a anti-cancerous. So when we use salad, when we use fresh raw salad, so we put a squeeze a lemon. that to make it acidic. So when pH is increased, so bacteria or anything, whatever is there, germs would not survive, larvae, all these, because we use fresh vegetable in salad. So these are some of the important pictures. Can you see? These are the actual photographs here. Hookworm, can you see here? Suckers. So ankylostoma. This is ankylostoma, hookworm. Can you see the hook here? So beautifully it is given. And what is this? This is Wuchereria, roundworm. So what it causes, see here? What is this? Elephantiasis. Elephantiasis. Have you heard that name? So elephantiasis is caused by Wuchereria bancrofti. Full name, Wuchereria bancrofti. So TI. It is curable. There are so many medicinal treatment, disease drugs are there. They found out for helminthes, but still, it's not a immediate curing. Like you take the tablet and sir dard gayab. It's not like that. Are you understanding? So it is Wuchereria bancrofti.
Mom, does the worm go near the leg region or like?
Oh, why this is coming like this? Oh, something and all is happening. Wait. Here is our Wuchereria. Which slide is that? We were in 56, sir.
Oh, it's not.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's why it went off. For you now?
Yes. No, like only the home screen.
Oh, okay, got it. This is also coming. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. For you get only the magnified, that is, yeah. Okay, Wuchereria bancrofti. Here you can see this causes. It's also called as filariasis, ascariasis, filariasis. So Wuchereria bancrofti, TI. It causes elephantiasis. Okay, the legs have become elephant-like.
Mom, is it like a symptom or like the worms go near the leg?
Of course, they will. They cause like that. So it spreads through Culex mosquito. Culex mosquito vector to carry them. Okay, so now Swara's turn is over. Now Akash, it's your Ascalminthus is yours. Come on. Why I am now keeping each one of you? So in the end, you will compile everything. Tuck from each one of you belonging to that group should go on tell us. So I'll put grades of organization. Systematically, I have assigned one group for you. You should be giving that answer in the end when we compile it. That's why. Okay. So Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, now Ascalminthus to Akash. Read, my dear.
Okay, so it's the grid of organization's organ system. It has bilateral symmetry.
Yeah.
It's triploblastic.
Yes.
It has a pseudoxolome, and then it's found in aquatic and terrestrial habitats. It has a complete digestive system, but no respiratory and circulatory system.
Yes. Why do you call it complete digestive system? What's the meaning of it? Complete?
It has a full digestive system.
What do you mean by full means? Do you have half then? Any organism has half?
Mm,
What do you mean by full digestive system? Do you find half in any of the organism?
no. I
Then
don't-
anybody? Purvi, what do you mean by full, sorry, complete for digestive system?
There's two openings, one for the mouth.
Another for anterior mouth, posterior anus. So then only you call it as a complete digestive system. Did you understand, Akash?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So next, yeah.
And then its reproduction is through internal fertilization
Yeah.
and sexual reproduction. And its unique features is it has a thick cuticle, an excretory tube to remove body waste through the excretory pore, and sexual dimorphism.
Yeah. Sexual dimorphism means what? Dioecious. Dioecious means having two bodies. Male is different and female is different. So internal fertilization means male discharges the sperms into the female body. So development is direct means some organisms directly develop into a worm which look like an adult. Some larvae is formed and then they look like an adult. So unique features, syncytial epidermis, thick cuticle. So that you found in platyhelminthes also. So platyhelminthes, that's why helminthes means worms. Okay. So Buchereria, Bancrofti, Ascaris are both are parasites. So you can see them here. So coming to the next, Annelida. So annelidans are also not, the body is not differentiated. So this is the actual photograph of this red worm or earthworm. So annelida, because they have annulus rings. So what is the meaning of this annulus rings? That means they have body segments. So they have annulus rings. They have body segments. So these segmented worms. So they are segmented worms, and all of you take a look properly here. There is a particular portion which is not segmented, and that portion is called clitellum. Can you see here? Only in earthworm. Okay, so we are talking about earthworm now here. Now let's go to the in general. So these are the annelids. So organ system level of organization begins from annelids actually, but in your textbook also some of the Askelminthes also display organ system level of organization. You can write organ system for Askelminthes, but annelidans onwards organ system. So annelida to mammals organ system. Okay, so what is this? This is earthworm. So annelids are those with different varied habitats. So they live terrestrial, example earthworm, and they are aquatic. So example Nereis. So if there are a lot of water, you would have seen Nereis entering your, suppose if you are near the damp place or in your house, there is damp and old houses. You would get to see Nereis entering. No.
Mom, we were living near backward.
100%.
Somehow it was looking scary.
Nereis.
Like this one.
Yeah.
So Nereis have, how do they move? They have parapodia for swimming, whereas earthworm has setae. So let's go to that now. Locomotory structure. See, leeches, have you seen?
Yes.
They are ectoparasites. Ecto means outside the body. So they do not live for the shelter. They live on the vertebrates, different vertebrates, including human beings for blood. They suck the blood. Hopefully you know that.
Yes.
These are the leeches.
Mom, like there are few types of leeches.
Correct. There are different based on the environment they live in.
Mom, so not all the annelida leeches, like only a few of them.
Example of annelids, which is an ectoparasite. Which of the following is an example of annelid with ectoparasite and 4 organism name will be given? You have to choose leech. So what is the scientific name of leech? What is the scientific name of leech? It's given in your NCRT. Earthworm, it's given in your NCRT. Nereis, it's given in your NCRT. All the 3 examples. Nereis is an aquatic annelid. So how do they move? With parapodia. Because aquatic in the water, Nereis do not walk. It swims. Anything will swim. No organism can walk in the water. So how do they swim? With the help of structures called parapodia. Para means side. Poda means legs. Simple biology is parapodia means the legs on the sides which act like swimming for swimming. So parapodia. Okay. Next, germinal layers, triploblastic. Of course, now onwards it's from triploblastics. So then see here how it looks. So what is the speciality about earthworm with respect to the digestive system? Anyone? Earthworm causes vermicompost. They are called as farmer's friend. Why? They create black gold. What is black gold means? It's a mango. Manure is called black gold, isn't it? So it's hasten the process. Without earthworm, if you make compost, for example, only vegetable peel you want to make compost. Without earthworm, it takes about 3 months. With earthworm, 1 month. So earthworm will create, and so that stink and all, sometimes rotting too much, all these would not be there. Earthworm will change the texture of the soil. They are also called as red worms. So you can see all the 3 types here. So either they are terrestrial, classic example earthworm, either they are aquatic, Nereis, or they are ectoparasites, leeches. Hirudenaria, you can see in your textbook also they have given. So this is complete digestive system, that is mouth, anterior mouth, posterior anus. And in the digestion, they have a gizzard. Gizzard, what is that? Grinding. Okay, the structure which help in grinding. What do they feed on? What do they feed on earthworm? They will climb the tree and take leaves. Then decay. Don't say leaves. You'll get 0. Dead and decay matter. So how do they help the bio? Okay, earthworm is also helps in creating the compost. Along with earthworm, bacteria. If earthworm alone can create compost, or you require bacteria and fungi also. What do you think, online guys? Online students. This is a crucial question where many children forget all height funda. So now I have created for a week 1 basket full of vegetable peel, green waste. So now I'll just keep it along with the earthworm. In Shivaji, I don't know, here also probably you might get in Shivaji Nagar, they sell it in grams. So much grams of earthworm, you can buy it. Or else in Lalbagh also they sell. Okay, so you will have the green vegetable peel. So now this peel is waste. So every day, whatever you generate in the field, if it is field, you can add excreta, human excreta also they put in the field. But here it is in the house, in a pot. Okay, so then adding a layer of soil. with this half of the pot, then add this. So earthworm feed on, and you should sprinkle some water also. Keep it oh my God. Guys, it is happening.
Yes. This connection went out and you came back.
Can you see the connection? Am I audible?
Mom, it's gone.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Wasn't I audible for a minute or some time?
No, ma'am, we couldn't hear you.
You switched off on its own. So can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was talking about how to make the compost. Were you able to hear?
Ma'am, could you just repeat that?
Okay, so I was telling you, so earthworms are called farmer's friend. Why? Could you see this particular slide? Could you see this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so could you see this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here only I was telling about gizzard. So what is a gizzard? Gizzard is a actual stomach where the food would get the grinding. It's a grinding machine like. It acts like a grinding machine. And this is gizzard. And here, when earthworm eats all those vegetable peel, what happens? So it makes the larger fragment very tiny and it excretes in the soil. This excreta is very malleable, very soft and smooth. So now bacteria and fungus act upon it, bacteria. So when they act upon, it hastens the process, hasten the process, and they get easily mixed up with soil. So a few days, within a month, you get black, good texture compost. Okay, so that compost, if you put it to the plants, your plants grow very well. Okay, so this is how compost can be made.
Mom, can you explain clitellum?
Clitellum, I'm coming to that. So I'll come to that. So now you can see here. So oxygen and carbon dioxide, what is the respiratory structure in earthworm? So earthworm has cutaneous respiration. What is cutaneous respiration? Moist skin. So earthworm skin is moist always. Okay, so it cannot live in a dry condition. So this moist skin, see here, this is how it happens. So here there is moisture inside the soil. Can you see this side? So the other photo, so moisture is there, and here you have tiny gills-like structures. Not gills, gill-like structures. So when the oxygen goes in, so from the atmosphere, it takes the oxygen and supply it to the internal tubules, and whatever the carbon dioxide is generated is given out. So it respires through the moist skin, which is called as cutaneous respiration.
So the structure, the skin has to be like.
Skin has, no. Inside that, when it goes, it enters through a small, tiny gill-like structures. Okay. Circulatory system is a closed type. Already I gave you the answer, closed and open type of two circulatory system. So what is a closed circulatory system?
They lack vessels and tubes.
Very good. So which has where the blood runs through a particular channel called vessels, blood capillaries. You can see blood vessels are clearly present here. Okay. So you can see the blood vessels here. Okay. So there is a pharynx, coelom is there, body cavity. Okay. Brain is present here. Main heart is present here. So the blood capillaries. So heart is not a well developed like how your heart is there. So this is the digestive tract. Surrounding that, you can see a lot of blood capillaries. So that means blood is travels through a proper channel. So that's why we call it closed, which is one of the higher body design. Okay, reproduction is okay. Sexual reproduction. Please write sexual and cross fertilization. Why cross fertilization? Though earthworm is a hermaphrodite. So what is earthworm? Earthworm is a hermaphrodite again. So that means both the female and the male you get to see in the same. See, testis sac with testis and ovary funnel with ovaries. So you can see that. So but still it is cross fertilization. Why? That means sperms are discharged from an other earthworm into the female oviduct. Why?
It can't do it for itself.
Correct. The same sperm because of the maturity. So the maturity of sperms in different time and eggs in different time. So therefore there is cross fertilization. So earthworm and leeches are monoecious, means hermaphrodites. Monoecious means what? Having both the sexes in the same organism. So whereas Nereis is dioecious. So that means male is different, female is different. This point you have to note it down. So this is an exception. Can you see the earthworm cross fertilization is shown here? Can you see? Yeah. So what is that you notice? So now only I want to talk about clitellum. What is that you notice here? What is that you notice? Here. Here, can you see the clitellum of this earthworm and clitellum of this earthworm?
Yes.
Separately? So what is that clitellum? Clitellum is the unsegmented, non-segmented part of the earthworm. So can you see the clitellum here? Look here, all of you first. Clitellum. So above the clitellum, you can see the female genital pore, and below that, you can see the male genital pore. So clitellum separates the two sexes. Are you understanding? It separates. Clitellum is a thick, unsegmented portion below which you have genital papillae. So now that's why clitellum of this is pouring into the ovary. So that is ovary is all in the different segments. Okay, here below the organism, the posterior end towards posterior end. So that's why clitellum. So can you see? So this is clitellum. Below that you can see the pores, genital pores. That is in earthworm. Yeah. What is the botan? Okay, now we will get that. So unique features, longitudinal and circular muscles are present. This is a very important neat point. They have two types of muscles, longitudinal muscles, long like, and circular muscles. So these help in locomotion. So the contraction of these muscles help in locomotion. Okay, so they have two types of muscles, longitudinal muscles and circular muscles. So they have, each segment has a bristle-like structure. So you can see the circular muscles and the longitudinal muscles here. So each has a bristle-like structure. What is the bristle-like structure? So these bristle-like structures are called as setae. Correct. Bristle-like structure. Bristle means what? Your toothbrush bristles will be there. No, just like that, the structures are there. They are called setae. Setae helps in movement. So therefore, they are locomotory structure. So how about aquatic annelid? Parapodia. So what about excretion? Nephridia. Feature in, you can see here, ganglia. What are ganglia? Ganglia are neural. Ganglia means tuft of nerves. They have paired tuft of nerves. They are connected bilateral nerves to the double ventral nerve cord. Okay, so now earthworm has segments. The first segment is prostomium. They are like this, and surrounding the prostomium is peristomium. Peri means always surrounding. Surrounding, and prostomium help in digging the soil. Here, prostomium, the first segment of the opening of the earthworm is prostomium, and the first segment here is peristomium. Okay, prostomium help in digging the soil. So mouth is in the peristomium, slit. Mouth means not actually the mouth like how it is there for us. It's just a slit. Okay, so these are the actual pictures. So earthworm is Ferretimopostoma. So leech, hirudinaria. Hirudinarin is the substance, protein that is extracted from this hirudinaria. Hirudinarin is the protein. Okay, so Nereis is also called as sandworm.
No, but it's present in
Yeah. Actually, how many of you know leech is used in the medicinal? Why is it used in the medicinal? What is its medicinal value? Anyone, any idea? What is that? Leeching is different. Oh my God. Leeching is different. What is that leeching? L-E-A-C-H. This is L-E-E-C-H. So what is this Nereis? They're used in one therapy. Leech therapy. What is that? Why? Purposely. To reduce the blood content? No, then?
Is it for blood clots?
Blood clots, exactly. Yeah, it's used there. And that hirudinarin is a substance which they have discovered.
That's for leeching.
No. I don't know. I don't think that is leeching is a chemicals leeching. Leeching means I haven't heard that. Leeching, chemistry leeching, I know. So now, who is a person? Which student has to do now? Who is left?
Ma'am, I didn't do.
Nitya is done, Akash did, Purvi did, Sadhana did. Sadhana did, Meda, right? Is it Meda? Is that Meda told now?
Ma'am, I haven't done. Soumya.
Who? Soumya. Okay, Soumya, you do this.
Yes, ma'am.
You give Meda next one. Arthropoda. You also have not done. Okay, Meda, it's over. Sorry, Soumya, it's over to you. Read.
Yes, ma'am. Grades of organization is organ system level. Symmetry is bilateral. Germ layers are triploblastic. Coelom is coelomate. Habit and habitat is terrestrial, freshwater or marine, or they're free living and parasitic. Digestive system is complete. A respiratory system is cutaneous respiration and branchial respiration. Circulatory system is closed type. Reproduction is sexual. Earthworms and leeches are monoecious, and Nereis is dioecious. Development is indirect. Unique features: true segmentation. Longitudinal and circular muscles help in locomotion. Locomotory organs are setae or parapodia. Excretion is by nephridia. Paraganglia, lateral nerves, double ventral nerve cord. The examples are Peritema, Hirudinaria, Nereis.
What is Peritema means? It's just like some name of
It's
a girl.
earthworm.
Peritema. Earthworm. Peritema, Postuma. Hirudinaria means leech. Nereis is an aquatic annelid. Which of the following is an example for aquatic annelid? This is how the questions will be. Lot of memory. Okay. Branchial respiration will go to Pisces. Here it is cutaneous. Branchial in aquatic annelids. Okay, so but predominantly it is cutaneous. So let's talk only this. Branchial means through gills. See here, the therapy here. How it's sucking. So you would not even come to know. It is sucking your blood. They are sanguivores. They feed on blood and live. Such an organism called as sanguivores. Detritivore. Earthworm is a detritivore. Oh, these words you haven't come across in previously? Oh, I thought you guys know this. This is in low grades. Detritivore. Detritivore means which feed on dead and decay matter. Sanguivore, which feed on blood, leech. So then frugivore, herbivore. What is herbivore? Which feed on plants. Carnivore, which feed on, vora means which feeds. Frugivore. What do you mean by frugivore? Anybody? Which feed on fruits, nuts. Example? Anything you know which feed only on fruits and nuts? No, birds, it's insect also, omnivore. Oh, such a cute animal, nobody knows. Squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So now let's go to arthropoda. What is the meaning of arthur? I have got arthritis. Arthur means what? Leg. Only for leg you get arthritis. Arthur means what now? I gave you an example. Arthur. Anyone? What is Arthur means? Joint. Poda means? Leg. That's all. You can connect it and figure out the answer in your exam. So Arthur means joint, Poda means leg, jointed legs. Okay, joint legged. So now grades of organization, organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. Okay, so bilateral symmetry, then triploblastic, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, 3 germinal layers. Then coelomate, they have true coelom. So this is the connection. So that's mesentery, this is the coelom. Okay, so this is the body cavity where you find all the organs here. Okay. Now, they are cosmopolitan, found everywhere, remarkable. So they are of different classes. of these arthropods. So they have complete. The first time the body is differentiated into head, thorax, abdomen. The first time. So head, thorax, abdomen. So there is no actually neck and neck region like how it is there. It's not there, but the body is divided into head, thorax. And the gut region is also divided into foregut, midgut, hindgut. So foregut is the front part of the alimentary canal, midgut the middle part, and the hindgut. Okay, and first time the tubules are present in the excretory system and they are called as malphigian tubules. We have nephron tubules now, no, the same way. So these are all advanced body designed. Okay, so now respiratory organs in these. So some have gills which live in the, have they, 1 second, wait, let's go to open type of blood. So this is not a, let's go to respiratory later on. Wait. So they have open type of blood circulation. So that means they do not have a particular channel, which is not an advanced. This is not an advanced, but still this is how. So they do not have open. They have open. They do not have what? Channels. So that's why it's so you can see here these are the different muscles. So chambers are hard or everywhere here, okay, and the blood bathes the tissue. That cavity where the blood is released, which bathes the tissue, is called hemocoel, and blood is white in color. Have you ever seen cockroach? Have you ever killed cockroach? Ant. White blood.
There was a different type of insect like like 2 and 6 joined together.
Oh my God, I don't know.
And I was
What is the blood? Oh,
White,
what
white.
white? So that's all. That is the white blood. And this is hemolymph. That's why it's called as hemolymph. Neither blood nor lymph. Hemolymph. And this cavity within which it flows is hemocoel. Okay. So usually they are dioecious. That means both are separate. Sexes are separate. Male is larger slightly than the female. Yeah, male is, yeah, mostly, predominantly only. There are many. So sexual reproduction is internal. They are always oviparous, egg-laying, and development is direct or indirect. That is metamorphosis. Usually indirect, and that's called as metamorphosis. You can see the metamorphosis you have learned in your lower grades also, butterfly life cycle, isn't it? So unique features, what are these are very important. This particular section is very, very important for your need. So they have jointed appendages. Appendages are joined, that is jointed legs. Okay. So the body has 3 regions, head, thorax, abdomen. Body is covered by an exoskeleton made up of chitin. Where else have you come across chitin? Very good. Fungi what? Cell wall. So excretion is by malphigian tubules. Sensory organs, they have antenna. You have seen that antenna, right? So antenna helps in sensing. So they have another important point is they have compound eyes. What do you mean by compound eyes? So eyes which have smaller fragments. So these are the tiny fragments in the eyes, and each of these lenses, okay? So each lenses here, they are called as, each pieces of lenses are called as ommatidia. What do you call them? Ommatidia. Okay. So it gives a mosaic picture. Mosaic means all those arranged and make a big picture, no? Like that. So that gives a mosaic picture. So they also have statocyst. The in balancing them. So they become static.
Yes.
And they will be like this, suspended like. So that's their statocyst. They help in being static at certain times. So there are various insects, and arthropoda is the largest phylum. largest 750,000 species are reported. They're the largest phylum, and class is not given. Oh, class is not there. Those classes. Oh, it's 4:49. Is it already? I want to finish this.
Also more than bacteria.
Arthropods, yes. Arthropods are the largest phylum in animal kingdom. In animal kingdom, my dear. Among many animal kingdom, different groups of phylum. So Arthropoda is the largest. Is that much clear, all of you? So different classes of arthropods are there. What do you call the aquatic arthropods? Crustaceans. Example, prawn. Have you heard about aquatic arthropods? Yeah, which are they? Crabs, prawns. Okay, all these are aquatic. So then, how many pairs of legs they have? 3 pairs of legs. One particular group has insecta. Insecta is in another group, arthropod. Okay, so there are different classes of arthropod. Is it given? I think different classes are not given.
But then if you see crab and spider.
Yeah, spider has. So they are arachnida. They belong to. So insecta, arachnida, myriapoda, and crustaceans. Okay, myriapoda. Myria means what? Okay, poda means what? Myria means million legs. Centipede, millipede. Have you heard that? Yeah, they are all myriapoda. Okay, so poda. Myria means million. Simple.
More legs or like
Have you seen centipede? Actually, you cannot count and say there are no 100. So they have, but they have many jointed legs. So that's why you call them myria. Scorpion comes under insecta. So some of them have. Oh, it's not there actually. Yeah. Required, I think. Required. That's why they are not given.
Mommy, you have to explain the rest.
So tell me which are the different groups. Just write down all of you. Insecta is the largest. Under insecta also so many classes. Some have pair of wings. Some have double pairs of wings. Correct? Arthropod only largest among the of arthropod, and then crustacean, aquatic arthropod, okay, myriapoda, then is spider, 4 pair. Okay, so these are crustaceans. Insecta is the largest class. So many insects yet to be discovered. So you have economic importance. Honeybee gives honey, helps in pollination. Bombax mori, Bombaticifera. Have you seen the light illuminating Laticifera? Okay, so then Anopheles, they are vectors. Vectors means which carry Anopheles, female Anopheles carry malarial parasite. Culex mosquito carry Wuchereria pathogen. And Aedes mosquito carry virus. Which one? Dengue virus. And housefly carry any bacteria, which causes cholera or which causes loose motion, Salmonella, Shigella. Salmonella, Shigella causes dysentery, and they are usually carried by honeybee. I'm sorry, housefly. Okay. Maybe I need to check that. I'm not very sure. So gregarious pest, locust. What is that? Locust is a pest. So you know that about locust, you know?
Yes.
What is that, you know? Correct. Recently, so many locusts,
Yes, ma'am.
like a storm. You know that?
Yes, ma'am.
So living fossil. So this one you can write. King crab is a living fossil. What do you mean by the word a living fossil? When do you call something a living fossil? I had told you this when I taught you gymnosperms. I remember. What do you mean by a living fossil? Any of the online students, do you remember?
I think it's when there's been very less change in the organism.
Sorry?
There's been very less change in the organism since like prehistoric
They
times.
are the only member of that group. Ginkgo biloba, I had told you. Ginkales in gymnosperms is the only living member of Ginkales order. So that's why they are called as living fossil. Similarly, Limulus king crab is the only species that's present there. Hmm? No. Limulus is king crab.
But the photo is horseshoe crab and horseshoe crab.
Maybe that's horseshoe shaped. No, Limulus crab only. This is, you can watch it on the Google also, YouTube also. Limulus is a king crab. Don't remember the picture, remember the name, because name based on the name only, there will be question. Limulus is a king crab. Honeybee is a helps in pollination, economically importance. And what is the scientific name of honeybee? Anybody? Apis species. Apis. Apiculture, have you heard, not heard? Apis. Huh? Okay. Apis. Apis mellifera is Indian. Apis mellifera is exotic, and Apis indica is a Indian. Bombyx mori, M-O-R-I, mori. Bombyx is a silk moth. Lacifer is a, what is lacifer? Lacifer is a what? Lac insect. So which brings illumination and lac producing. So Anopheles is a vector. Culex is a vector. Aedes is a vector. Housefly is a vector. And this is pest, which destroy the crops. And living fossil is Limulus. These are the neat points. Okay.
So
Now Meda.
does that have the
Yes. Of course, they are all gene gowned. Proteins are all gowned by genes. Meda, over to you. We need to discuss all the questions from these in the end, such that, so there are 180 questions. Let's discuss all the questions, because it will help you to understand, recall. So like how we did in plants. So plant group also we did a lot of questions. Why? Just to keep or enhance our memory. So here also, once we are done with everything, let's discuss questions for one day fully, one class, so that memory will be enhanced.
for all the
No, for animal kingdom alone. So many are there now. Meda, can you please recall arthropoda, after arthropoda, mollusca and echinodermata? Then only I will leave you today. Invertebrates I will finish off, and then I leave you.
yes.
So that there will be a proper stop. Veda, are you there? Meda Nair. I can see her name. Meda Nair? Is it clinic? Am I audible? Soumya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What happened to Meda Nair? She's not putting anything in the chat also. No, she's there in the meeting. Her name is there. Okay, Advai, you read.
Grades of organization is organ system level.
Mhm.
It has bilateral symmetry. It's triploblastic in nature. It is coelomate, cosmopolitan. Its habitat. Complete digestive system and respiratory system is gills, book gills, trachea, and book lungs.
Mhm.
Circulatory system is open,
Yeah.
and they are mostly dioecious with internal fertilization, mostly oviparous, and that development is direct or indirect. Joint appendages, body has head, thorax, and abdomen.
Mhm.
Chitinous cuticle, malphizian tubules for excretion.
Mhm.
Sense organs are antenna, compound and simple eyes.
Mhm.
Statocysts, example spider, scorpion, crab, prawn, insects, etc. You need to explain the respiratory system, right?
Yeah. So what's that we left in respiratory system? How the respiration happens. Respirations happens through the tiny holes all over the body called spiracles. Have you heard that? You would have seen spiracles. Can you see? Spiracles are tiny holes all over the body from which the air enters, and it enters through the tracheal tubules inside the body. Such a respiration we get to see in, so they are called as tracheal respiration. Okay, so they also have in some of the these crustaceans, aquatic arthropods. So there are lungs which are book-like, pages of the book-like. Okay, they are not well developed like Pisces, but that is called as book lungs in crustaceans, aquatic arthropods. So in crustacean, it is book lungs. So that's one type of respiratory organ. Trachea, another type of respiratory organ. Basically, we get to see both two kinds. Book lungs it is. Okay, so tracheal tubules and book gills.
Also, the book is like not so developed.
No, they are invertebrates. And what is the exoskeleton? Chitinous exoskeleton. Mollusks means what? Soft bodied. So they have organ system of organization, all those. System is so soft bodied or lot of disturbance. Are you getting to hear? Online students?
Yes, ma'am.
The aquatic form, most of them, and pulmonary sacs in the pulmonary means lungs, but they are not having pulmonary. They are pulmonary sac-like structure, just a small sac-like structure in the terrestrial forms. Okay, so then open type of blood circulation, that is body blood is pumped into the by the heart into the body cavity, so that we know that is that kind of circulation is open type of circulation. And dioecious sexes are separate. Okay, so the sexes are separate. They're oviparous, that means egg laying. So development is, can you see the snails laying eggs just like pearls? Can you see?
Yes.
Soft eggs. Okay, so this is a molluscal larvae, either direct or indirect. Directly they become. So here, body has, what is the part of the body? Body has head, visceral mass. Visceral mass means mass of soft body, and muscular foot. There is head, visceral mass, and muscular foot. Head has sensory tentacles, and there is a calcareous shell. So that is calcium cell. This is called as calcareous cell. Shell is there, no, on your snail, haven't you seen?
Yes.
So that is calcareous.
Mom, so every mollusca has a shell.
Mollusca means soft bodied, because their body is soft. There should be some protection naturally. So that's the shell. Shell is made up of calcium carbonate. Calcareous means that's the meaning.
So the shells are formed by the seal or
They will come to, probably some of the snails have asked me. They gave some money and borrowed the calcareous shell from me.
no, like some crab.
They borrow calcareous shell. What are they doing?
No, some crabs, mom, they like take shells. That's yeah.
No. You are talking about ecological behavior. I have understood.
Yes.
So they get attached to the shells of the crabs and they move from one place to another.
Yes.
Not crabs, attached to the shells of the different mollusks or shelled. So have you heard about shellfish?
Mom,
Shellfish means what?
fish which has shell.
Correct. Mollusks are sea food.
Yes.
Many mollusks, Japanese, they are seafood. They remove the shell and they eat. You know that?
Yes, mom.
Yeah. That is, they are shellfish. Aquaculture they do. In that aquaculture, they grow all these. Pearls. So from which one you get? Pearl. What's a pearl?
Mom, it's
Oyster.
yes, mom. They
Pearl oyster, haven't you? So they introduce a small. So pearl oyster, they prepare pearl. Okay, so they have feather-like gills, mantle, and can you see the mantle? So this is the mantle of the shell. So they have foot, visceral body. They come out, take the prey, and go in. Grasping organ. Such a organ organs Are you getting to hear properly? Guys? Online students? Online students, are you getting to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So please look into this. Yeah, we were like here. As per organization, organ level system. Every time it is happening. No, internet is so good.
Mom, the strength might be good, mom. There's sometimes when it rains.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Medha, read it. So last one after this echinodermata, let's do it and wind up. So Medha, read. Medha,
Just a second.
yeah.
It's not.
Yes, ma'am, the slide, right? Okay, yeah.
Why? Because
Grades of all. Yeah, grades of organization, organ system,
Mm,
symmetry, bilateral, germ layers, triploblastic, coelom, coelomate, habitat, aquatic, and fewer terrestrial. Digestive system is complete. Respiratory system is gills in aquatic form and pulmonary sac in terrestrial forms. Circulatory system is open. Reproduction is dioecious, oviparous, and the development may be direct or indirect. And the unique features are the body has a head, visceral mass, and muscular foot. The head has sensory tentacles, feather-like gills for respiration and excretion, a calcareous shell, mantle, and radula. Examples: Spilla, Pinctada, Sepia, Loligo, Octopus.
Sepia.
Sepia, Loligo, Octopus.
What is that?
Aplysia.
Lollipop. What is that you said?
Ma'am, what?
What did you read it as?
Ma'am, is it Loligo?
Okay.
Ma'am, I forgot.
Lolligo, yeah, not
Yeah,
lollipop.
yeah, fine. Yeah, Loligo.
Okay.
Yeah, so octopus,
Octopus.
Aplysia, Dentalium, Ketopluria, etc.
So now, what is the blood color here? Yes. Why is it blue? What is that called as? Hemolymph you see in arthropoda, and here the blood has hemocyanin.
Oh, okay, like
copper. So the blood has copper. That's why we call it hemocyanin. So that slide is missing here. Okay. So it is hemocyanin. Please do write.
Ma'am, why do they have copper though?
So they have. So now, what is the reason for having copper rich, copper metal? So iron we have. So why do they have copper in our blood? So it's red in color because of iron. So because of hemoglobin, hemoglobin has iron component, a porphyrin ring. So it has copper. Why? So that's your Medha's job to find out what could be the reason for that, because they are soft. Okay. Then why is it, why it's not that we also need oxygen? So then they can also have copper, iron. Why they have to have copper? Correct. So there is this particular reason for soft
because
bodied
it can.
organism.
Ma'am, I think it's got to do with copper's properties of how it oxidizes.
Sorry, it's totally chemistry.
Yes, ma'am, like how copper oxidizes.
So how it oxidizes? How it happens?
Ma'am, on Google it says that it can reversibly bind a single oxygen molecule, but I'm not sure what exactly.
No problem, no problem. Take your time. Of course, you have to take the help of Google and not, it's totally out of NEET and out of NCERT. But a very important questions which will help you to understand better in physiology. So this is a physiology question. Physiology means biochemistry actually. Any physiology is a biochemistry. So therefore, find out, so why mollusks need blue blood? So coming to echinodermates. Echino means what? Spiny. Derma means skinned. So spiny skinned organisms. Okay, so spiny skinned organisms are called echinodermates. Keep seeing here. If it goes, connection is lost. So this is organ system level of organization. So we have here both adults being radial. All the adults display radial symmetry. Only the larvae display bilateral symmetry. Okay, so then triploblastic, coelomatic, all these we know. So what is that? They're exclusively marine. So you do not get to see that in the fresh water. They're exclusively marine. And they have ventral mouth and dorsal anus. This is another exclusive point. So ventral, below mouth is there, dorsal anus is there. Okay, so then they have tube feet. So skin gills are papillae and tube feet. So they have skin, gills, and papillae, what you can call them as tube feet. So what is the tube feet? Water enters into the tube feet and they help in locomotion. So blood, these are the tube feet. Okay, so you can see the tube feet, so many tube feet are here. So they have water vascular system that helps in circulation. Water vascular system, they are dioecious, both the sexes are separate. External fertilization, okay, so they release the sperms and egg out, and development is indirect. Ciliated free living larvae, larvae are all cilia they have, okay. So then unique feature, very important feature is endoskeleton. So chitinous exoskeleton we saw in arthropods, and here it is endoskeleton. So head absent. So starfish is a classic example. Head absent, but in the tip they have eye spot, which are sensory in. So they have so head and anus. So what is, where do you find anus? Ventral or dorsal? Just now I told. There are only two. Ventral is mouth. Dorsal is anus. Okay. So they are on the different position. Okay. This is how. They have ambulacral, so which means water vascular system. It's not water canal system. Water canal is the one which we saw in porifera. Here it is water vascular system. So in this, seawater enters through the porous plate called madreporite. So you can see, and reaches the radiating canals and tube feet and helps in locomotion, respiration, transportation, excretion. All locomotion, respiration, transportation, excretion, all would happen. So they enters the porous plate. What do you call that porous plate on the body? Madreporite. So porous plate, and they bring in all these. So that's why we call it ambulacral system. Okay, so these are some of the which is given in your textbook. Asterias. Asterias means starfish. Echinus, sea urchin. Echinocardium and Antedon, sea lily. So then Ophura, brittle star. Sea cucumber is Cucumeria. So sea urchin, sea cucumber, sea lily are echinodermates. Then sea fan, sea pen. Then sea anemone. What are they? Nidaria. Correct? Sea horse. So this is very confusing if you leave it. So by revisiting, the only way for unit 1 is to revisit the chapter and keep the things in memory. Okay, so what are the characteristics? I will read it. Open system. Okay, so that is, I'm sorry, organ system. Organ system means organ system from when you are seeing organ system, Annelida onwards.
Yes.
Okay, some of the Aschelminthes and Annelida. So totally organ system, totally triploblastic and coelomates. But here it is radial symmetry, and from porifera radial, coelenterata radial, ctenophora radial. After that, it's only bilateral. Now again radial. So then exclusively marine, ventral mouth, dorsal anus, back anus. Remember that. So the digestive system is complete. Okay, so then they have spiny skin, papillae, projections on the skin. That's why we call it spiny skin, and echinodermate, that's the reason. And they have tube feet which help in locomotion. Water fills into the tube and they help in locomotion. So open type and very circulatory system is not at all developed here because of water vascular system. So external fertilization, indirect development. Ciliated, free swimming larvae. Okay, head absent, calcareous endoskeleton, and that's called as ossicles. Okay, Excretory system is also absent. Everything is water vascular. Locomotion, excretion, transportation, and four things I told you. Guys, who remember? Look, that's transportation. Who remember? Locomotion, respiration, transportation, excretion. So all tube feet will happen. So this much is all about invertebrates. So today we have done invertebrates. Now I want all of you. So this is the order. You have to make a table on the A4 size, not A4 size, sorry. Chart paper, no? What's the size of chart paper? I don't know. 5 rupees ka ek chart paper you will get, no? So you have to make that, hang it up in the place wherever you walk up and down in your study area. Every day before you go to bed, just see one, like how you skip one chatting on mobile and see this. Okay. Throughout the year, keep doing it. It will sit in your mind, and definitely you cannot memorize this previous day of your exam. Never be foolish. Whole of this animal kingdom. First do it for vertebrates. What are the things you need to do? All these grades of level of organization, symmetry, germ layers, coelomate, habitat, digestive, respiratory, circulation, transportation, reproduction, and unique features and the terminologies, along with the examples as per NCERT. If at all scientific name is given, you have to mention that also. Okay, thank you all of you.
Can you share this PPT?
Sorry?
Can you share the PPT?
No, PPTs I cannot share because it's
Ma'am, I missed this slide.
lister. Maybe I don't know. I'm sharing the printed notes for this, but not PPTs. Okay.
Ma'am, can you put the slide for Porifera for a second? I forgot to take that down.
Okay, done. I'll show. Not an issue. Porifera or Echinodermata?
Porifera.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Bye. Yeah, this is Porifera. What do you want? The final summary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the summary.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.